The Ratchet and Clank series is known for a lot of things. Its snarky humor,
Nerd. I like him.
its huge, wacky arsenal of destructive weapons, and most importantly, the gigantic list of iconic planets. While some Ratchet and Clank games like to revisit planets that are from previous games, the majority of the franchise usually likes to introduce completely new planets for the player to explore. With this being said, there are a lot of planets in this saga, each one with its own unique aspects that makes it special from the rest. But have you ever wondered while playing these games, which one is the best? With the colossal selections of many different planets to choose from, you could imagine that there are many different opinions on which planet is the best in the franchise. So that's why today, I'll be taking a deep dive into every planet from the PS2 Trilogy and deciding which one is the best in each game. Now for the record, this is the first part in a 3-part series, and part 1 will be only on Ratchet and Clank 2002. Now before I start off this ranking with the first planet on my list, I would like to inform you guys that this is completely opinion-based. My opinion on the best planet in each game may be completely different from yours, so please don't go hating on me in the comments. Unless you feel like it. That could be fun to see, I don't know. And I'd also like to give a big thanks to Buninja, who inspired me to do this video as he's done the same thing. He's a really cool Ratchet and Clank content creator, so I highly recommend you guys to go check him out. I'll leave the link in the description. Now that I've cleared that up, without further ado, hop in the ship, because it's time to blast off to the first planet, Veldin. This planet is the big ball of rock that started it all for this franchise, and it's where the very beginning of the original Ratchet and Clank game from 2002 takes place. And I'd say it does a great job at that. It's a very good starter planet for this video game. It's pretty simple platforming, and it also does a really good job of introducing the first weapons you get in the game, as well as giving us a good understanding of where Ratchet has been his entire childhood. Overall, this planet is very fun and a great start to what will become one of the greatest franchises known to mankind. And let's not forget this planet's respected banger of a song. The only flaw I can pick out from this planet is the mildly weak level design, but that's fine since it's the very first level in the game. So overall, this planet gets an A.
You got a name?
My serial number is V54296.
Oops. I'll just call you Clank for short.
And we land on the next planet with a bang. Come on guys, wake up, you're on like one of the best planets in the game. The second planet on the list is Novalis. Now this planet is definitely a personal favorite of mine. Even though the level design is nothing new, I still adore the unique enemies and especially the missions. I think traversing through this level is some of the funnest activities to do in the entire game. The new missions you get on this planet have you going through caves, gorgeous valleys, chaotic battlegrounds, and even a water slide. This has to be one of the most creative levels in the entire first game. And exactly as I said for Veldin, this planet has another banger song. You really can never go wrong with the music in these games, but I think this song in particular has to be one of the best. If we take all these aspects into mind, I'm gonna have to give this planet an S tier.
Plumber's crack.
What did you just say?
I said, look, the plumber's back.
All right, wise guy.
Have you ever been to New York City or Chicago, Tokyo, or screw those cities? Who needs those cities when you can go to Metropolis Kerwan instead? This has to be the most beautiful city and planet in the game. The abundance here is off the charts. Just look into the horizon, these buildings go on forever. And I said Novalis had some unique aspects, but Kerwan has a different style of platforming in every single section of the level. First, you're traversing over the tops of these beautiful, futuristic skyscrapers. Next thing you know, you're in a James Bond movie fighting over the top of a moving train. And then you're climbing up the giant obstacle course with many, many fun obstacles. While I wouldn't say it's one of the best planets in the entire game, it's definitely one of the most fun. And it also introduces one of the funniest and most snarky comments Ratchet has ever spat out in the entire franchise.
Hey, you're that robot guy, right?
I myself am not a robot guy, per se.
Nerd.
I know, right? What a nerd. Overall, Kerwan gets an S. Well, you can say goodbye to the sunshiny, optimistic feel of the other 3 planets, because the next planet we're going to puts the poo in spooky. Wait. I was gonna say something to do with goo, because there's like goo everywhere. But I can't, because Spooky doesn't have goo in it. Never mind. One of the more creepy planets of the game, Aridia. Aridia has you hopping across sand shark-ridden plains, while also making sure to dodge dangerous puddles of purple goo. Or is it brown? Yeah, it's brown. I've been playing the reboot too much. This planet overall isn't too special, but it's still one of the big icons of the game. And this is also, of course, the planet where you meet the most radical radster in the entire galaxy.
In the flesh, little dude. You guys get a load of that epic space battle I was in?
We saw ya, screaming for help.
That was like a war cry.
What a tubular, righteous planet. I gotta give this a radical B tier. Now let's get chopping at some trees, because we're landing on Eudora. This has to be one of the most colorful planets in the game, and one of the most fun. I've always loved the level design on this planet, and especially the history behind it. It's so cool how we're landing on this planet during a time where, like, Drek's army's cutting down all the trees and destroying the wildlife. It puts a lot of depth into the game, and I mean, this gameplay is seriously top-notch. Has to be probably the most fun planet in the game. All the moving objects you can stand on, the unique enemies that are placed in large amounts in about every area of the level, and especially the immersiveness of this planet is magnificent. I can think of multiple times when you have to use a bolt crank to maneuver certain objects in order to get past obstacles. We see this throughout the game, but I think it's best used on this planet. I mean, the obstacles in general are amazing, the platforming is extremely fun. With all that being said, I have to make Eudora the third S tier planet on this list. For the next quote-unquote planet in our list, we land on the first space station in the game, Nebula G34. I guess you could call this area in the game Chairman Drek's personal Area 51. Now, as for the design of this planet, there isn't really much to say, since most of the level is just gloomy hallways, but I still think that the eerie, mysterious theme of this section in the game is very cool, and this level also introduces a very fun, yet quick boss fight. Don't even mention that goofy run. And of course, you can't forget that this is also the planet of the game where you get the grind boots.
My soon-to-be patented grind boots. How about I sell you these at cost?
Sell? After we just saved your scrawny butt?
All right.
Which make for some very fun gameplay later on. While the flaws are still there, this section is still pretty good, so I'm gonna give Nebula G34 a B tier. Alright, for this next planet, try not to wet your pants. What am I doing? Rilgar! The next planet is Rilgar. Blackwater City, specifically. This planet's design is amazing, and the gameplay is very fun. And similar to what I said for Novalis, the exploration of this planet is also very fun. Going through sewers, caves, and even the downtown of the city. As for the enemies, while it is fun taking out these little gooey gangsters, this planet has one of the most annoying enemies in the entire game. And it's not even that I don't like how difficult they are, they're pretty easy to take out. It's their stupid programming that I hate. The fact that I'm helping them take out these amoeboids and they still decide to try to kill me, ridiculous. And I also just don't like how they're looking at me. What are you looking at, you stupid little... Oh yeah, and remember that tubular rad guy named Gemlik Moonbase that we met on Aridia? Rilgar is the home planet of his species, so you can expect to meet a lot more rad people on this planet, such as this guy. He's definitely more creepy than he is rad, but he still introduces us to the quest for the rhino, so you gotta give him some kudos.
What's a rhino, anyway?
Rip ya a new one.
What did you just say to me?
And you of course can't forget the hoverboard race, one of the best parts in the game. NASCAR wishes they were this cool. I especially love the environmental feel of this planet, how it's raining and it looks kind of mysterious. Definitely a staple in the Ratchet and Clank saga. I gotta give this planet an A tier. Next planet on the list is Umbris. You're probably starting to see the trend of creepy planets. I mean, this level looks like it's stripped straight out of a zombie apocalypse movie. I really love the ambience of this planet. And looking at it now, it kind of feels like they were inspired by this when making Planet Sargasso. They look similar. Maybe I'm just tweaking, I don't know. But yeah, even though the enemies are pretty scattered out on this planet, it definitely feels like one of the most scary planets, and I really like that. It's a good thing they made this planet scary, because it definitely built up to the amazing introduction of the Blargian Snagglebeast, one of the best boss fights in the game. When the duo realizes that Captain Quark has been fighting against them the whole time.
I love it when a plan comes together.
What do you mean?
What do you think he means, genius? He's not gonna help us. He's gonna kill us.
You catch on quick.
It makes for a very compelling low point for these two characters, and I think it did a great job at that. Ratchet just wants to get revenge on Quark, while Clank is staying focused and realizing that innocent lives are being lost because of Drek. These two conflicting ideas between the characters makes a good story. And even though I like the reboot, like I said in my last video, I can still agree that the lacking story of this game was mainly due to the fact that Ratchet and Clank never argued whatsoever and didn't really have that great of chemistry. And in this 2002 game, I think Planet Umbris brings that together very well. Overall, I gotta give it an A+. Alright, soldier, you better buckle your belt, because we're about to enter the most mind-wrenching, bone-curdling planet of all time. Do you understand me, soldier? I am so sorry for that. Our next planet is Batalia. The most war-ridden planet of them all. And you better have somewhat of a strong suit in the armed forces, or just getting yelled at in general, because this guy means business. Except for in the reboot, because, you know, he got replaced by this chick. Just get her out of the game. Now, I usually like the paths in this game to be more open, but I kind of like the linear feel of this planet. I think it works well, since we're on a certain mission to get to a certain point. Most of the platforming isn't anything new we hadn't seen yet, but, you know, it's still pretty fun. And aside from that, I love the theme of this planet. It's sort of like tropical mixed with apocalyptic. And in the reboot, they turn it into a snowy wasteland, and I actually really like that theme as well. Now, this is sort of a curveball from the other points I gave to the other planets, but I think that the gold bolts in this planet are pretty well hidden, yet also simple. So, you know, it's a good way to put gold bolts into a planet. I think this actually does the best at that. Speaking of hidden things, I think that the secret grind roll section at the beginning of the planet is very fun. So overall, I'd say the biggest strength of this planet is its difficulty. It's very well evened out across the entire level. Overall, I'm going to give this planet an A. Next is planet Orxon, a big green ball of fart. Take the word fart into mind, because the first visit to this planet literally can't be described by that very word, a fart. You play as Clank for the entire thing. I can't do that. Look, I like Clank, okay, but his sections are so bad and so slow and so tedious, and the fact I have to play an entire planet as him, I just can't do it. I can't do it. Of course, though, after the end of this nightmare, you do get the Magna Boots, a great and iconic gadget, but is it really worth the pain of playing as this rusty tin can for the entire planet? Maybe, maybe not. Now, you do revisit this planet as Ratchet, so it makes the gameplay a little better. I'm going to include this now because I'm not going to be counting revisits as their own separate planets. But anyway, the gameplay with Ratchet on Orxon is definitely more fun than the Clank gameplay. However, the enemies are still pretty annoying. So overall, unfortunately, I have to put this planet rather low in a D+. Brr. Is it cold to anyone else? The next planet is Hoven, the first snowy planet of the game. And I don't know if the developers were feeling festive when making this level, but this entire planet really just screams Christmas. Not even only because of the snow, but because of these trees. This planet really gets you feeling holly jolly, and I'm surprised there wasn't a Santa Claus boss fight. Now, I think the beginning of this planet is really fun. The platforming in this little village area is very nice, and there are a lot of enemies here. I mean a lot. And even though the beginning of this planet is pretty linear, it still feels rather open, and I think that's good. After this area, you enter a cave, and I think this part of the level is very fun. You have to move water from one place to another, and the pools in this section are huge. Diving under and swimming around to explore is very fun with the amount of space you were given. Now, one flaw I can pick out from this planet is that once you get to the bomb factory, it feels pretty empty and bland, just because of the lack of enemies compared to how many we had at the beginning of the planet. But with that being put aside, one of the funniest cutscenes is on this planet. This one right here.
You look so handsome.
Thank you, miss. Your craftspersonship is excellent.
If you two are through,
Jealous?
It's okay, Ratchet. There are many other fish in the sea. Now, the level after this cutscene is a big step up from the earlier part of the bomb factory. There are tons of moving objects and fun little corridors to go through, and the enemies are much more vast here. And the whole concept of trying to rush to Drek's rocket to stop it from taking off is very cool. Now, this is a very, very fun planet, but only because of that one little section in the bomb factory, I have to bring it down just one tier and give it an A. Oh, what are you looking at? I can rank it how I want.
fine.
Fine.
Fine! And the next planet is Pokitaru.
Hey, you two are the first friendly faces I've seen in weeks. You are friendly, aren't you?
To you, yes. To him, no.
Well, friend, have I got a deal for you?
Okay, listen, I sort of forgot this one, so it's a little out of order, but I'm just gonna put it in here now. The level design and just the pure beauty of this level is top notch. If I could choose anywhere to go for some kind of summer vacation, this would be it. Every single time. And let's not forget about this absolute banger! And since I probably won't get to this later, I want to say that this planet does acquire you the O2 mask, which is a very neat gadget, helping you to breathe underwater while swimming. Now back to the main path. This planet is the very embodiment of tropical paradise. The scenery is truly a sight to be seen, and there are a few newly introduced unique enemies on this planet as well. I most especially like the Puffoids. Just look at them bouncing around. This level also has some of the best platforming in the game. The exploration through both land and water makes for a very good combo. There really aren't any flaws I can pick out from this planet, except for that really annoying guy who asked for Raritanium. With my thoughts wrapped up, I'm giving this planet an S tier. The next planet I'll be ranking is another planet that I accidentally skipped. I know, I apologize guys. I guess this ranking isn't going to be exactly in order. But anyway, the next planet is Gaspar. This planet has a magnificent environment, an isolated volcanic wasteland. I also believe that this is one of the few planets that was better depicted in the reboot, but obviously the classic one is still extremely fun and iconic. I personally don't have too much to say about this planet, except for the fact that the close to lava parkour sections are very fun, and I also love the environment and just world design of this planet, and especially the abundance. Just looking into the horizon to these mountains is gorgeous. And of course, the many cave sections add a lot to this planet, so overall, I'm gonna give it a solid B tier. Okay, before I get to the next planet, I just want to say that from here to the end of the video, the planets will most likely not be in a very good order, because I've already messed up the order a lot, so the next planet here is sort of like the Blarg station on Nebula G34, since it's not exactly a planet, but still a very fun space station. Gemlik Moonbase. This level feels very free roam. The level design is great being out in the middle of space, and the OST is amazing. This level also, of course, introduces our boss fight with Captain Quark, which I think is very fun. For time's sake, I'm gonna not talk too much about this level. I mean, it's already just amazing. There's really not much to say. I'm gonna have to give it an immediate S tier. Next planet is Oltanis.
This once peaceful planet is being torn apart today in an unprovoked attack. It now seems certain that Supreme Executive Chairman Drek will not be dissuaded in his efforts to destroy the galaxy for his own selfish needs. All hope certainly seems lost.
Now, this planet isn't too bad. It's just the sheer difficulty that really pushes my buttons. Now, of course, the environment and apocalyptic feel is very cool. Similar to Eudora, I really like the story behind this planet. It's simply the length and difficulty that makes it sort of an unwanted planet to play when going through this game. Now, we can't let that take away from the other cool aspects of this planet, such as the decent grind rail sections, and of course acquiring the Morpho Ray. But then there's the ice part, which sucks. But hey, we also get to meet Albert Einstein, or whatever, I forget his name. Okay, we'll give this planet a B-. Sure. Kalebo 3, home of Gadgetron. I really wish they just got rid of this planet, because it's really just a waste of time. D tier. Yeah, I don't really care. Next planet is Quartu, the place where we enter Chairman Drek's robot plant. Now, other than these sort of bland, gloomy hallways, I think the platforming in this level is decent, with the moving conveyor belts. And the continuous switching to the hollow guys to, be disguised as a robot is pretty fun. Overall, this level isn't too long, but it isn't too hard either. It's a decent planet. I'll give it a B+. And then the last planet that we go to in this game is Veldin. That's right, we go back to planet Veldin. I know I said I wouldn't count revisits as their own separate planets, but this is the final boss of the game, so I had to include it as its own. Now, the beginning of this planet has a brand new feel. It's a bit more dark and creepy than before, and once we finally get to the boss fight, it is very fun. This boss fight is extremely unique. While Chairman Drek is blasting lasers at you, you have to continuously make sure to damage his mech, as well as smash this button to destabilize the deplanetizer. And the thing I like most about this boss fight is that we have this cool little grind rail around the platform that we can slide on to avoid Drek's attacks. I can't talk. And after defeating the boss, we get the satisfying conclusion of launching Drek to a distant planet and using his own weapon to blow him to smithereens. Roll the credits. This planet, including the boss fight that comes with it, gets an S. Now we are done ranking all the planets in their tiers. However, we now have to choose the best one of them all. Of course, as I said earlier, this is completely based off my opinion, and for the best planet in this game, I have to pick Kerwan. Now, these are just my thoughts on the best planets in the game. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments as well, and tell me what you think of my ranking. This, of course, is only the first game in the PS2 trilogy, so this will be a series with 3 parts. The next part will be on the planets from Going Commando. Very excited for it. And thank you so much for watching this video. Until then, I'll see you next time in part 2. Like and subscribe for more.